asked about his position on abortion. He refused to entertain the question about whether or not he'd veto a federal abortion ban because he says it should be left to the states. And then he said this. He was asked by the reporter, Amanda, are you comfortable if states decide to punish women who access abortions after the procedure is banned? Donald Trump responds, I don't have to be comfortable or uncomfortable. The states are going to make that decision. The states are going to have to be comfortable or uncomfortable, not me. And part of what he's saying there, Amanda, is he says this is not on him. What's your reaction?
I mean, it's ridiculous, right? He's endorsing what happened to me. He's endorsing people who seek abortions getting punished for seeking health care. And we know that this is a result of him because he elected the Supreme Court justices that allowed the fall of Roe v. Wade, that put the rights back in the states who are making these insane draconian laws like the ones in Texas and Florida and Arizona. This is his fault. And he continues to endorse these crazy bans by saying that, you know, this is how it should be. The states should be able to make these decisions.
When he says he really avoided, despite multiple questions from this reporter with time, to take a position on whether or not he would veto a national abortion ban if it came across his desk, if Congress passed it. He says, well, it's just not going to happen, and this isn't up to me to decide. Does that, I don't know, does that bring you comfort? Do you believe those words? What do you say to that?
No, of course it doesn't bring me comfort. I don't believe it. He also failed to say whether he would protect IVF. You know, he's talking out of both sides of his mouth because he knows that this is a critical issue. It's one of the key issues of this election. And he knows that most Americans do not support the policies and bans that he has previously endorsed, that he continues to endorse. You know, he's trying to walk back things that he knows are unpopular, and all you have to do is look at his track record, which speaks for itself. He will endorse a national abortion ban. He's already told us that, and who knows how much farther he'll go beyond that.
Amanda, you know, after what happened to you in 2022, what happened to you and your husband, you started sharing your story. You became this lead plaintiff in a lawsuit against the state of Texas, and you've now become something of a surrogate for the Biden campaign on this issue. I gather you weren't entirely as active or political before all of this happened. What has it been like being basically part of the campaign, going to battleground states and speaking out and meeting with people and telling them your story over and over again?
It's a good question, and you're right. I was definitely not envisioning this for my life in any shape. I was always interested and informed in politics, but I definitely wasn't as active as I am now. But because of what happened to me and because of what I know is happening across the country to pregnant people all across our country, this has become the most important thing in my life. And so the opportunity to campaign for President Biden and Vice President Harris is so important to me. It's been so encouraging, so motivating. I've met both the president and the vice president. They are warriors for reproductive freedom, which is so important to me. And it's why I continue to do this work, because there is, you know, people are saying this is the most important election of our lives. And I really believe that. And it is the most important thing to me this year to make sure that we reelect President Biden and Vice President Harris.
Amanda Zurawski, thank you for joining us this morning.